Hello there. Welcome to Monday Night Therapy. I'm Minnie Hunt, and with me, as always, is Fred Sacco and his co pilot, Willie.
Oh, Billy's taking a nap, but here he is briefly. So
He is,
kind
he
of taking a
is,
nap, just like our offense in the last few games, and our defensive line,
that's
and our
that.
coaching staff.
Okay, just jump right in. And I like how Gary just started out in comments saying, I like listening to Sacco. He deals with reality. What are you trying to say? Huh, Gary?
I think Gary just kind of speaks for himself. I will toast Gary to that. This is a hot toddy I'm drinking here, so it's cold outside.
I'm drinking herbal tea
Ah,
because I've been sick since
oh,
last Wednesday night after the drinking of the Five Heart podcast. It really did me
wow.
in, and so did taking the stupid bet that
Oh,
Fred made me take. This is the reason I'm wearing yellow
mm.
because he said, "All right, Minnie, if Iowa beats us, what will you do?" Or no, what was the bet?
I
If we
said
win
if Nebraska won, I would wear Iowa gear because I was that confident we would not win, and that if Iowa won, then you had to wear Iowa gear. So it's not really Iowa gear, it's a yellow shirt, but baby steps. Hopefully next year you don't have to wear a yellow shirt.
yeah. If you weren't gonna show up, I was gonna go run and take it off and put red on.
Oh, I wouldn't miss this for anything. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
I win a bet, I want to be there to talk about it.
Keen. All that Kool-Aid finally caught up with Minnie. It was the Kool-Aid, and I don't know
Walgreens
what
Kool-Aid.
I had I had whiskey. What else did I have?
Well, you drank whiskey and then you chased it with White Claw, which is just the strangest,
Yeah.
chaser there is.
I
So
don't
it's like,
drink.
yeah,
I
that
don't
much
drink.
is, yeah.
This is why. This is why. And don't make me. Don't, like, challenge me, obviously, when I'm that far gone, because 'cause I'll take the bet. I'm like, "Yes. Okay."
Hear that,
Um,
guys? Don't challenge Minnie.
yeah, don't. Fred. So, okay, obviously, we're here to talk about the big news. John
Yeah,
Butler being after, Iowa scored 40 points on us. I mean, that's, yeah, that's just disgusting. I know John Johnston said that he actually turned off the game, which is the equivalent to, yeah, me leaving at halftime. I've done that. I did that actually for the Penn State game. We just had 2 back-to-back games where our defense couldn't do anything. Our defensive line couldn't hold up. Um, and yeah, 2 teams that really shouldn't have scored anywhere near what they scored on us. So,
no, no, it was an awful loss, yet another one, and I was a little surprised about Butler actually. I thought maybe would get another year, but then with all the stats, with all the things that people were talking about, and 90% of the time people score in the red zone on us, and just yeah, I don't think there was any coming back from it for him, unfortunately. So yeah, I was kind of hoping we'd see a different guy get let go, but that'll be soon enough, I'm
oh,
sure.
hush. Well, okay. So
Here comes the spreadsheet, guys.
I don't think Matt Rule did this without thinking in advance. One, John Butler wasn't his first choice last season. If you'll remember correctly, yes, he was kind of like interim defensive coordinator, but Rule actually took over that position for the bowl game. Um, he was good at coaching defensive backs. I mean, that was he obviously that was the one bright spot on our in our defense was our defensive backs. But or this season, I mean. But it seemed like he definitely wasn't the first choice because he let him interview and then he hired him almost as, uh, yeah, waiting for somebody else to possibly be available, I'm wondering.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's hard saying. A lot of us thought that maybe he was the backup plan in case Tony White left, and so then it just seemed like it
yes,
happened. But
yes.
regardless of the decision making, and if he was not the first choice, that's not new for Rule. It's like every other time now we've had a second or third choice for what he wanted. As far as and maybe somebody wasn't available or they didn't, you know, want to
Mhm.
take the offer or whatever. But yeah, they got to figure it out quick because next year is not going to be any easier.
Whatever happened, number 1, this is the biggest thing I thought of whenever I heard about his firing is, um, fans were calling for blood, and you kinda have to appease fans in some way. Um,
I mean, you got to appease the fans, but you need to make decisions that help the team too, and
that
I
yes.
think he thought that that was necessary,
Mhm.
and other people should be let go too that'll be necessary because it's like, you talk about the fan part of it is if we were to make no changes at all and just roll with this, it's like, would this would anybody be excited, going into next year, knowing we're going to see possibly the same bad run defense unless we get lucky and get some guys and see the same subpar offensive line play, unless we get some guys. Like it would be I would not be happy. I'd be like, okay, I'll say the same. I'd be like, okay, we'll go 6-6. That's what you want.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's always nice to have a scapegoat.
And
When some
also
when
with
something
Rule,
like this happens, it's nice to have a scapegoat.
yeah, I mean, and also with Rule, if he's like any other good coach, I think it was Joe Moglia said that like he had a folder of like a top 10 defensive coordinators and top 10 line coaches always every year, and he'd keep like have it ready in case a coach would leave or in case a coach would get fired. So
Mm,
I'm sure some list of other people that he could, at some point.
yeah.
um well, I saw there
You're
was a Husker plane down in Dallas, and I guess that's where the um SMU, their defensive coordinator is pretty good allegedly, so maybe we're looking at him. I forget his name, I saw it like a minute ago. Somebody in the chat will know. It was like last name started with a C, I think, but who knows? I just want somebody that knows how to stop the run and, gets buy-in for the team.
yeah.
That's it.
It's not just stopping the run. I mean, I was looking at this, okay, let's talk about the Iowa game, all right? Well, first of all, there's a lot of different things I wanna cover on defense, but one of the things is out of all of the coaching changes that we had last season, do you realize there was only 1 coach that was consistent in the position on defense, and that was Rob Dvorak?
I
Everybody
forgot about
else
that guy. Yeah.
everybody else switched and changed, and we hired new coaches, as well as our entire defensive line left. Not just a couple guys, the entire defensive line that was made up of seniors, graduates, I mean, tried and true players, and the only one that transferred out was Jamari Butler. Do you remember him? I think he went to
No.
LSU. You don't?
No, I don't
He's
even
the
remember
guy
that
who
guy.
liked to drive fast. They did this documentary
Oh,
on him.
in the Husker games, he was like the fastest. Okay, yeah, I do remember. Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he would drive around in his car and not buckle his seatbelt, which drove me
Oh
crazy.
man.
Um, but the defensive line was then replaced with basically nobody. Just guys that we had kind of, in the chamber already being developed. The one that was the most developed or most senior was Elijah Judy,
Mhm.
and he was a second string last season and sometimes third string. Um, we have Cam Lenhart, who in past seasons actually has done way better than he did this season.
See, that's where, yeah, it was a little weird because he was a good pass rusher as like Rule's first year, but then he got hurt
Mhm.
once and then he disappeared. And we had like a lot of people that played off and on, but they weren't staples like, Robinson and Nash and then the other guys. And James Williams, DL. Yeah, the kid that went to Florida State that didn't know when to shut up.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think James Williams was very good.
he made some sacks, and I think he was like the guy, like the edge rusher guy, not a straight up D lineman, if I remember right. But
You were right, you were right.
yeah.
And NJ Sherman was our jack, remember? And he was
Hmm.
pretty consistent. Um, but then we got RVB, Riley Van Poppel as well, who's a
Yeah.
redshirt, what is he, redshirt freshman.
Hmm.
And then we got the transfer for Jack, Desan McAuliffe. And I think he got injured
He
2
did.
games ago.
Yeah, he did. He was out for a couple games, and he was like, he would always fly through, but he'd always miss. Like, even in the Cincy game, he was fly through, miss, somebody else would make the tackle, and he'd dance. And it was like, okay, but maybe he could blow things up a little bit. But it was just, yeah, it wasn't optimal. Then we had that other linebacker from Georgia Southern, and he kind of finally came on like in the last couple games, making some plays. But the front seven or six or whatever you want to call it, with the 3-3-5, it just it woefully underperformed consistently. Like first it was the big runs, and it was like, oh, if we only don't give up the big run to Michigan, we win. And then another game, and then other games we just got beat down, like repeatedly. And then when you get beat down repeatedly, talk about the Iowa game, they they hit like, I think they're 19 yards of pass play just because we couldn't stop the run. So then guys are just wide open because we're selling out, and it was brutal.
It was. It absolutely was. Somebody asked if John Butler, or excuse me, if Phil Snow is the interim defensive coordinator. Yes, he is the interim defensive coordinator, which is interesting because I haven't even seen him hardly at all
Well,
during
that
the
was
season.
the thing I wondered, and I hadn't had a chance to look it up. I thought he was like a consultant, and he was not here. I thought he was working remote, and he would like come in on Zoom calls. And
That was last
so,
year.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. So maybe people in the chat know, but yeah. And
It's
he's proven, but it's like he's not the answer. I think he's 70 or something. So
yeah.
I doubt he's going to want to hang around
He
for,
was in retirement.
yeah.
I mean, I guess as a football coach, when do you ever really retire?
I don't know. When you
Do
keep
you
getting
really
fired
want
enough
to?
and people won't
Yeah,
bring you back. I mean, I don't know.
I guess, yeah. Okay. Well, all right, so back to the Iowa game. Gosh, it just sucks. It sucks so bad. Um, 40 to 16, we said that. But now we're 7-5, which is a step better than we were last year.
Yeah, it is, but when you finish a season poorly like this, it's just Roger Moore, indeed. And Greg, we know Minnie's an ageist. She takes pot shots at, and as
What did I
Jerry said,
say?
whoopee, 7-5. If we get Utah, it'll be 7-6. I mean,
Oh gosh, who do you think we're gonna get?
I heard Utah, or I guess since Arizona beat Arizona State, we could possibly get Arizona. That's in that
That
Vegas
would be
bowl.
good. That would make me so happy. I would love that game. Oh, I would love that game. Ah, yeah. Um, and I guess it sounds like we are going to be going. I mean, nothing is confirmed. We won't know till next Sunday, obviously. But it sounds like Las Vegas wants Nebraska pretty bad.
Yeah, we still travel well. and it'll be a warm destination to go to for this time of year. So yeah, it'd be a fun bowl for people to go to that have the means. I mean, even if I had the means, I don't know that I would go because it's like, okay, it's
Are you
Arizona.
serious?
I don't even know anything about Arizona. I was hoping we get Arizona State because then maybe Jeff Sims would fumble it 6 times and we could win like 7-6 or something. But
Yeah. So, Friday night was the ASU U of A game. They played here in Tempe, and I was invited to go, and I was too sick to go. And I'm telling you, that that's how sick I was because I would go no matter what.
hmm,
And I got to watch it from home. Jeff Sims, to finish the game, he threw an interception. Is that the
mm,
most perfect ending?
that is for him. I mean, I figured the perfect ending is we would get Arizona State, and then he would just look like Tommy Frazier against us and just be unstoppable. And then Rule would be like, well, we had to do it with our interim defensive coordinator. That's the reason. And, whatever other excuse boat we would roll up there. But yeah, that's a fitting end for, well, he'll play in a bowl game too. So he ain't done yet. But
Mhm.
yeah, I have no hate for the guy, but my God, I've never, the football was made out of lava with him. It was painful to watch. Jesus.
I have to say though, he has made quite a few strides. Yes, he does turn it over. He's a dual threat quarterback. He runs a lot. But when he does make a throw, that I mean, when it's like, on the money, it's a great throw.
Yeah, I don't know. I bought into all the hype when they showed his hype reel on YouTube and all the touchdowns, but then I saw other articles that said he had like 6 less turnovers than he had touchdowns. So it's like, okay, I don't know if that's exactly the greatest guy to have, but I thought maybe at the time our staff could coach him up and prevent the turnovers, and then he would just randomly hand the ball off to nobody. And yeah, that was quizzical. I've never quite seen that before as a Nebraska quarterback, a guy that like that was just wild. Everybody says he's a great dude and he's awesome. And that's good for him, but my God, that was hard to watch.
It was. It was. I don't know. I don't think it can be fixed. It just can't. It'll never go away completely. And Dear Hund says,
Ooh,
unfortunately, this program is just dead.
wow.
Guys, I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's been dead for a while. This is what Scott Frost killed it. He
Yeah,
really did. He ruined our recruiting. And if you can't recruit, you have nothing.
it, it's a it was a mess. It's been a mess intermittently.
I
And
blame
now the
him.
further we look back, I look back to the fondness of when we would win more games under Bo, and I was one of the people wanting him gone. So I guess what I get, and a lot of us, but yeah, it's ugly. But that's the past. Rule has to, is Minnie leaving with Dylan?
I'm not. And neither is Dylan. Guys,
So it,
this is just a rumor. This is what CBS Sports threw out there. I mean, it's what everybody was thinking. They just wrote a article about it.
there was a lot of speculation in that article, and like I think I'd mentioned it somewhere that at least back in my day, for the broadcasting degree, you had to have like real sources and you had to have actual meat on the story. And it was a lot of people think and sources say it wasn't anything that, was concrete. So it starts the rumor mill, but it's like Zadiska was talking about if we lost Donovan Raiola, if he would, also part ways, if it would be hinging off of what Dylan did. And that seems kind of backwards. But in that vein, my friend Jerry was at a bar called the VIP Lounge, and they had an autographed Dylan jersey on the wall. So if he does leave, I can see about getting it, and we can send it to you because it'd probably be like pennies on the dollar after he goes. Then you could have it. It'd be a Christmas present.
Thanks. You guys are just piling it on. Illinois is Minnie's backup plan if Dylan leaves. I don't
Is
own
he going
any
to Illinois?
orange. Yeah, I don't own any orange, 'kay? I can't be an Illinois fan either.
Yeah, you'd have to root for Burt Bielema, and that's no, that's like rooting for Jabba the Hutt. Nobody
Yeah,
wants him to win.
I'm not quite sure what happened, um, how Wisconsin beat Illinois the way that they did 2 games
Yeah,
ago.
I don't really know. I don't know either because they thought
Mm,
Wisconsin was in free fall, but maybe Illinois finally had a bunch of injuries, or
yeah, Illinois
maybe
just didn't
Bielema
pan
ate the
out.
training table and the players didn't get to eat for a week. I'm not sure, but yeah, that was wild. I because I thought Wisconsin would, kind of lose out. I figured Fickle'd get fired, and boom, they kept him. So yeah, I don't know. It's just been a this has been the weirdest season I've ever seen across the board. Us,
Really?
everybody else. Yeah,
Ever?
yeah, ever,
Ever?
ever, ever. Yes, yeah. I just couldn't.
Okay.
Tony
I
Lawson had a
honestly I
Wisconsin on.
thought that season where Scott Frost got fired, um, things started out on a high note because we got in all these new coaches, and then we lose to Georgia Tech at the
Southern.
time
Either
was
way, yeah.
Georgia Southern, yes, but at the time was a horrible team, and then, okay, so he gets fired, and then just, like, little by little, so do all of his, assistant coaches. Um, it just seemed like such a weird year, and then the whole thing with Mickey Josephs at the end, right?
Yeah, that was I mean, for us, that was an unconventional season. We hadn't never fired a head coach, early on or during the season, so that was new. I'm just talking in totality because we got to what, that 4th or 5th week and like 9 coaches got fired overall, and then the Penn State stuff started up, and then Rule was gonna leave,
Oh,
and we were hoping he wouldn't leave, and then a week later, we didn't care if he left because, we just shit the bed there or shit the
chaos.
bed against Minnesota. So that
Yeah,
cemented that they wouldn't want him.
I
Yeah,
like
I don't
this
know.
one. V
I
Poop says NIL made things weird. I mean, it's not just NIL, we're talking about coaching. But you brought up something earlier that, maybe the coach, or who was it? It wasn't, if it wasn't you, I think it was a comment I read. Here it is. Pit Snipe. He says, in my never to be humble opinion, Roll's hiring issues have been one half not being able to get elite level coaches, and one half he gets too cute about it and tries to pull the diamonds from the rough.
mm,
Um, I kind of thought that, when Rule made that announcement that, okay, we need money to get players. And then, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks later, he said, now we have enough money to go and pay any player that we want. I kind of felt like there was like, we somehow a rich uncle passed away or something. I have no idea what. I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know who died or who we killed, but we got money, okay? And I
yeah,
kind of feel like now we have the money and the resources to go and get whoever we really, really want.
that that's fair. And like to what Pitt said, the elite level coaches and the player thing too, because and we've said this millions of times. When he came here, he wanted that Jake Peets guy for the offensive coordinator, and he went to the or something Peets, and he went to the Rams. And then there was another guy that he wanted for something else, and he went wherever. And we had Satterfield as offensive coordinator. We saw how great that was. Best thing he did was get a chat in a podcast named after him. But it's like we've always got second or third choice for offensive line. We were great to get Rocco, but then we kind of settled for Spindler because the other tackles went to Oregon and Kentucky. So it's like now with that money, that's great. But as Tony, the Minnesota fan could say, you look at their recruiting classes and you look at ours, you look at Iowa's recruiting classes and you look at ours, we've had better players on paper, but it's just not getting done on the field, development or scheme or game day coaching decisions. Just something is still just not quite right.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll be better now because we got more money. I don't know. Hope so.
Okay. Let me just say this. I pointed out all of those things about our defensive line to you, to everyone, because I wanted everyone to realize we went and got 2 offensive linemen. We went and got some DBs. We went and got I know.
I have a Mac.
Don't
I
forget to
can't
like
do it.
yeah, don't forget to like the
I'm
video.
poor. I have a Lenovo. But yeah, like and subscribe, guys. Come on. Do all the
Yes,
cool stuff. All the cool kids do.
keep us around. Um, what was I saying? Okay. And we went and got wide receivers. We didn't get any running backs. We didn't get any defensive linemen.
Mm-mm.
It just seemed like uh, we maybe couldn't afford to get all the players that we wanted.
We seem to over-index on skill players because we got wide receivers, got DBs, didn't go for many running backs for whatever reasons. I think we thought we were set. Didn't get any D linemen, which you would have liked to thought maybe they would have got one big dude, just one other guy to throw in there
Yeah.
to fill Nash or Ty's spot. Maybe they thought we were good to roll with who we had, but then
No,
also that
no
kind of makes
way.
me curious. Like, is that the evaluation thing? Like they thought that was going to be good enough, you know?
Well, okay, so Terry Braden is our defensive line coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it would have to be his evaluation. So he came to us after the, Chiefs were in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
There was not enough time to get players.
Yeah, he was saddled with what he rolled into. So I think
Yeah.
maybe that's why he sticks around. Thing I didn't know was that both he and Prince Dylan's uncle were both assistant line coaches in their respective positions. I didn't realize that. I thought that Donovan was the Bears O line coordinator, coach, whatever. He was the assistant offensive line coach before he came here under Frost. And Braden was the
Mhm.
assistant D line coach for the Chargers. And some people say Braden's ready to, but still, they're not the guy. So that's kind of the diamond in the rough thing that Pitt said a while ago. Like
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
he thought we could roll with guys that were assistant of whatever.
Yeah, we need to get as John pointed out, I think, they said this last night too, um, on the overreaction, we need to get experience.
And that too. We did a lot of those D linemen were young dudes. So
Experienced
it's
coach,
and
an
that too.
experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
last night they didn't know that the DC was going to be fired. I think there was some suggestions, obviously, that that should happen, but, in that conversation, they were saying that there needs to be an experienced defensive coordinator, not just, like, some guy from, like
Well,
what Pitt said
no, it's
was a
true
great hire.
because we're getting to the point where guys, I don't know, it was mentioned a year or two ago talking about the new era of football with the portal and nil and people coming and going so quickly. And you need a staff that can actually teach and teach quickly, like because you don't know if you're going to have guys repeatedly that um, repeatedly coach a guy. You're going to get him for 3-4 years. You just don't know. So you need a staff that can make them get it quick and make it work together quick. Now it's a different era. So that's the thing. We don't have as much time to build as Rule would like or any coach would like. So it's like this next D coordinator has to be a guy that out of the gate is not learning on the job. And I know a lot of people were saying that for years.
Mm.
They said it about Bo when he became the head coach. They said this isn't a place where you learn on the job because he had never been a head coach at this level, that kind of a thing. And even Frost, he had his one good year at Central Florida, but still very young in the process. So it's like we need to hone in on some people that can get it done quickly. And I don't know if that's a luxury that we have, you know.
You are absolutely right. This is goes back to what I was trying to point out last week. And one of these days, I'm gonna put together, like, an actual graph that shows,
Uh-oh.
okay,
Graph guys, the graph's coming. I've been
guys,
warned.
because of what you just said,
It's all
like,
gonna be on the
is
final.
there a difference if they're in, the G5 and they come up to the Power 4 as a head coach versus, ever been a head coach coaching in the Big 10? I just wanna know. And then longevity, does that make a difference?
It's such a strange phenomenon and a way of doing it because sometimes you can't. I mean, everybody wants the next Signetti. They're not going to get him because that's like lightning in a bottle. But
Truly.
so some like I heard about the guy. I was like, oh boy, he comes from James Madison. Fuck him. You know, he's going to be another guy that hangs out for a while, and you know, because it's Indiana. But they had the right meld of talent and money, and him apparently being a good coach made it work. Whereas maybe you get a guy that's an experienced coach at one of those other levels and has continued to win, maybe he would be good, but they got to be able to navigate the waters of this crazy world of nil and the portal and all that, which I thought Rule was going to be good at it, and maybe he still will, but I don't know. In the last half of the season, his press conferences and his body language, not that I'm some kind of a body language amazing Kreskin, and rightfully so,
You
we're
aren't?
struggling.
Really?
I'm not. I mean, I try, but he's just look a mixture of nervous confusion, defeat. Like it's been rough. Like I usually liked his press conferences because he was a car salesman and a son of a preacher man, and he kind of could get me going. And now he's just like, I don't know. I thought we're ready to
He's
play.
very
Like that's just
yeah. He's almost pissed off.
he's mad. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, you can see it. I can see it too. And there's definitely not a whole lot being let out from behind the curtain. I
No.
mean,
And I'm
at
almost
all.
fine with that because we've seen a lot behind the curtain leading up to see got really upset. We're just talking about it all now. And yeah, UCLA hired the latest James Madison guy, so who knows if he'll be Signetti 2.0 or not. Jerry said it. Um, yeah, I don't
I wanna
know.
put this comment up real quick. Um, Touchdown black and gold. Welcome. He says, "This is a legit question from an Iowa fan, but is this a true rivalry? This game was forced upon both programs when you when you joined the Big 10." Well, here's the thing. No and yes. I mean, I feel like it really isn't because we don't think very highly of your program.
Oh man, Minnie
It's the
stomping
truth.
the
That's just the
gas.
truth. I'm not
No,
if
it's
you and welcome, by the way. Welcome, and I hope you
yeah. Welcome,
come
touchdown,
back.
black and gold. Uh, I've also said it wasn't a rivalry, mostly because there's nothing to play for. In my mind, you got to have a few things. You got to have like rabid fan base type of thing, like with us in Colorado, where they where they designated us the rival and they tacked us, and then they beat us a couple of times, get us out of where we wanted to go to the Orange Bowl. Then it was a rivalry, and then it was back and forth. You got to have that. You got to have proximity, which we have proximity, obviously, but I don't think it's a rivalry just because we haven't ever played for anything important. Like a couple times we were playing to get to a bowl game, and the best Iowa could do is stop us from getting to the bowl game. So it's like, okay, and that doesn't even hurt anymore because we don't go to bowl games all the time. We've never really impacted Iowa's ability to do anything. So I've called it the most boring. Saw Brian Bauer there, but I called it the most boring rivalry in football. There were
Yeah,
sometimes we played and I would fall asleep watching it at a bar, and I wasn't even drunk. Like I don't know. A lot of people get jazzed up over it. A lot of people argue over it. I don't know. So
we,
I don't say that to denigrate touchdown black and gold. I'll, try and be respectful, but I don't
We're just
think it was.
embarrassed that we're that bad because Iowa has
Yeah.
beat us 3 years in a row. Or
I think
no, yeah, 3
I
d
think
3
that I think, like, he's the guest says their touchdown. I think it was kind of forced because they thought it was a natural rivalry because we're close by. The
Mhm.
Big Ten was just kind of looking at it like, you know, when I work with tech company people and they're from California and they, send us a picture of a corn cob and they think that's like, oh yeah, that we accept that because we're the Midwestern. Like that's what the Big Ten thought. Okay, Iowa, Nebraska. Until we get good, it's like, okay, another game.
Yeah, we suck, and we know it. We
Wow,
suck.
clip that,
There's no way around it. I mean,
Greg. If you're around, clip that. That was gold. YouTube short.
I don't think I mean, have I
No,
not said that before?
no. Usually I'm the one that says it and you shout at me. So yeah, it's
Okay,
how the turntables have turned.
that was during the regular season. Now I'm a jaded Husker fan
All it
until
took was a
until
couple of
after the
these
bowl
losses
game.
and Minnie became all of us guys.
Yeah,
Well done. Let's
yeah.
go home.
So, talking about Iowa again, their defensive line is full of graduates and seniors.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Emmett Johnson couldn't rush hardly. They
And
had
their oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead. What were you gonna
No,
say?
just quick, not the D line, but the offensive line. Their center, I believe, was from Council Bluffs, which is basically Omaha. It's right across the river. And I think it was Frost that said he was too small,
Yep.
didn't want him, and then only after Iowa offered him, then we offered him. So it's like, and that guy's an Outland candidate. Granted, if we'd have got him, who knows how we'd have fucked him up, but
He's the guy who
you know.
said, "Yeah, they offered me after I already accepted at Iowa." He already did he did this press conference thing or
Mhm.
just an interview, side interview, and I remember watching it going, "Ah, of course, Scott Frost." Oh my
Well, I did
gosh.
that too. There was a good lineman, I think, out of Millard North years ago, and also Stanford wanted him. So Stanford education, obviously better than here, but we didn't even give him consideration. And then he was like an award-winning lineman for Stanford, but only after he committed to Stanford did we try. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, that was a disgusting time in our
Harrison
Husker
Phillips,
lives.
Millard West, that was the guy. Yep,
Okay.
Jerry said it.
Well,
I can't remember if Frost passed on Burrow or if, I mean, anyway, that's all here or there.
we
But
should
many would go
do
back to the experience of,
in the
the D
off
line
season.
for
I'm gonna write this down. We should write down all the players that Scott Frost passed on, and let's just see where they are now, just for shits and giggles,
that'll
okay?
give you something to do. Yeah. Well, and I mean, and there was an article many years ago, and I like those type of things sometimes to see where people went and what happened because they had a thing where, like, all the offensive linemen, I think that Frank had picked up over the years, got on the team, and either how they got hurt or banned, kicked off the team or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's interesting to see what happens with some of these people.
Yeah, it is. And Husker Chuck asks a good question. Says, "I wanna know what Rule has done to piss off the Omaha coaches, and if that rift can be repaired, we are screwed without Omaha's talent."
I didn't know that he'd pissed him off. What did he do? Did
I've
his
heard rumors
Dexter
of
Duffy
this.
leg swear at him? Like, what happened?
Honestly, I've heard rumors. I cannot substantiate anything, but I've heard rumors of the same. I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe it's just speculation because we're passing on a lot of high school recruits that are local.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the rap
But I
on.
know he's big on high school coaches
Well,
coming and being involved in the program. So
can you say that guy's name that just wrote that comment?
I will not say his name.
Oh,
I'm
oh, okay.
surprised that YouTube allows it.
I
Janice
mean,
Hughes.
the thing
She
about,
says she
well,
says he hasn't offered any players.
okay, yeah, and that's, I mean, not like I think Keen was saying, yeah, don't who cares about what Frost did or didn't do, and I get that, and that's true. That's over, but yeah, if there's a way that he's somehow missing out on guys that are local and that are good, I mean, and that was kind of the rap on him. I knew somebody that was a Carolina Panthers fan of all things, and he was like, "Oh God, we're getting this guy. He sucked at Carolina. He's going to suck here. He can't evaluate talent," is what he said. And I was like, "Well, you're just bitter because his your pro team didn't do well under him, and it's a different game. And he was better in college than he is the pros. But sometimes you kind of have to wonder if he does miss on some of the talent, you know."
Yeah, yeah. Okay, David Matney says, uh and of course, there's people saying, "Well, this is just speculation, it's just people writing crap." But David Matney says he has. "I heard our Omaha recruiter hasn't set foot in a high school."
Hmm.
Um, wasn't that, what was our, special teams coach? Ed Foley's job. That was Ed Foley's job, and see,
Ed
you
Foley didn't
guys
do
did
any of his
away with
job.
him, and now look, now we're screwed.
Yeah, Ed Foley. Yeah, I mean, and see, that's another thing that I have trouble with. It doesn't impact me, but that guy's still on the staff doing something, getting a paycheck.
Is
It's
he?
like, yeah, they said he kept him, like he reassigned him.
I mean, I haven't seen him anywhere.
Now, I don't go looking for the man, but it's
He's like
like,
he's
you
like
know,
in that movie, The Office, the
oh yeah,
downstairs in the
Office
basement,
Space. Yeah, he's in the
office
basement
space.
with the swing line stapler. Yeah,
That's
but
Ed
it's like
Foley.
I feel like we at some point too, if we have such a large staff, and feel free to have fun with that chat, but we have all these people, and maybe it's too many voices and too many cooks in the kitchen and too many assistants to the assistants, as somebody else had said. It's just like, I don't know. At some point, maybe they need to trim some fat. I think I said it to somebody, or I mentioned it in I don't know. I said I feel like this year's team is like Rocky and Rocky 3 without the previous success. It's like we have all this foo-foo bullshit going on around the sides. We got podcasts, and we're doing photo shoots in the cornfield with our alternate uniforms. We've worn 3 alternate unis this year.
What if all of that is what got us this influx of money? What if that is what did it?
I'd rather win football games than get an
You
influx of
can't
money
win
because
football games in this day and age without money. The
Iowa
teams
does.
with the most money, no, Iowa.
Hey,
Ugh. Do you wanna be Iowa? Do you wanna be Iowa?
I don't want to be Iowa, but I wouldn't mind winning 8 games consistently, 9, 10 a shot instead
That's
of what we're
disgusting.
doing.
Fred, who are you?
I don't know some days, Minnie. I don't know. I wore a wig on here for once, for God's sake. Who fucking knows? But
I know, guys. I
yeah,
know things got bad. I know we lost to Minnesota. I know. We have had a sucky year. We have.
speaking of, I'm drinking a Kincaid Krampus winter warmer, and Krampus is not to be confused with the ailment that PJ Fleck gets once a month. So,
Husker Chuck. You're gonna have to say that. I can't even say that.
woo, Husker Chuck, the mantle has been passed. Go with God. That is phenomenal.
Mm.
Jerry's my drinking buddy too, but Jerry can't drink beers like this because they're, you
What are you
know,
drinking again?
it's a Krampus winter warmer ale. It's like I said, it's your other favorite coach, PJ Fleck. He suffers from the same affliction once a month. Um, his Kotex nil deal. Sorry, Tony Lashin, if you're still here. We like to make fun of your coach,
This
but
isn't
your team kicked our ass, so I can't complain.
good. Who's here?
Oh, every game, Jake.
Jake, I gotta tell you, if when I tune in for Sundays, besides to, hang out with chat, I tune in to watch you because I love your takes. You're always so measured. Like, even last night when he's like, "I don't even claim to know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, so I don't know what's going on. It's not like I can sit here and speculate," but I just love that. I love his honesty, so I hope you keep doing it.
Oh, I
He
don't think
said
we have to worry about Jake being dishonest.
yeah, no. He says, "I'd like to see a breakdown of programs in our NIL budget range and how they perform this season." Well, let's get Patrick Stewart right on that.
Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Sir Patrick, he's our DM. Our GM, excuse me,
Oh
our
yeah,
GM.
that's right. Yeah. Does he have an assistant? Does he have like another GM under him? Because I feel like he
He has
probably
another
needs one.
guy he has another guy helping him, yes.
He actually does. Oh my god. I was making a joke. I was like,
He actually really does.
oh my gosh. Oof.
But I mean, in this day and age with revenue sharing and NIL, it's and figuring out how much to pay for each position, it's chaos. You have to have, like, a whole staff that does that.
They do. And we talked about it briefly about how we got to get more linemen. And a lot of people have said it too. It's not as easy to get, you know, 6'6", 330 guys as it is to get skill player wide receivers. So the market for skill guys is going to be a lot lower. So not to say they're dime a dozen, but it's like that's much cheaper than getting a giant lineman that's proven on either side of the ball. So it's like maybe that's what Rule was thinking. He's like, oh, we can snag, Key and Isaiah and a couple of them guys and get them in there for an affordable price and then make do with whatever piecemeal line we had. But yeah, they've got to focus on it, and he's got to like get them right, like right away. Like the first choice and second choice, he needs to get on both lines. He can't fuck around anymore.
Yeah. No, you're right. Um, oh gosh, where did that go? So, the one before that, TSD said something along the lines of Butler being the fall guy. Here it is. Butler being the fall guy and all our position coaches suck. Okay?
Woo.
He just said it like it is. And David Matthews like, "Yes, 1000% correct. I'm going to get my pitchfork and axe."
Get it,
But
Manny. I'll be right there with you. I don't know about all the position coaches sucking, but at least on defense, I guess if you're going to go with the guy that's running the whole thing, then maybe they're saddled by what he's running, and then it hampers the
this is why I
linebackers.
said,
And
"No, no, 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 no." I honestly I started out by saying, I don't think that John Butler was the first choice for defensive coordinator, and I think that the defensive coordinator that we want is actually not available or one better. And Pitt points out hard to fault our secondary coach, right? Because our secondary actually did well this year.
yeah,
But who was the secondary coach last season who got all those guys ready, who saw Rex Guthrie and Donovan Jones as they developed? Who was that? Oh yeah, that was John Butler.
yeah. Well, he was a great secondary coach, but
Was.
maybe just not ready for the big chair yet. I mean, sometimes that's the way. I mean, what was his defensive coordinator experience? He did 1 year at Penn State, I think, in 2012. Beyond that, I'm not sure. I know they said he was DB's coach in Buffalo too for the Bills, and their pass defenses were great. So again, that's his lane. Just like Bill Callahan, shitty head coach, great O line coach. Like people speak of him with reverence. So it's like some guys just need to find their calling and stick with it. And I heard somebody else say, I keep talking about unnamed sources, but it's like some say that Butler just had a vibe that he didn't want to be here. I don't know about that. I think he's just very cut and dry. He's the East Coast, just blunt, whatever. He'll go on, he'll coach somewhere else and he'll do just fine.
Hey, you never know where he'll end up. Maybe he'll end up working with Tony White again.
No, it could
Tony
be.
White did call him the dude.
He did, but then it's like, I don't know if there'd be any kind of animosity, like, I don't know. but guys, flip flop and bounce from team to team anymore. So honestly, I don't care what he does after he's gone. I mean, fuck it. It's like we need to worry about what's going on in house now.
Gerhun says Rule is a control freak. I kind of think he isn't, except that yeah, he has a certain way he wants everything done, but especially on defense. Especially because when Tony White started getting props for our defense being good, what did he say? He
I don't know.
wasn't
I
like
didn't pay
he
attention.
wasn't allowing Tony White just to get all the flowers, right? He said, "All of my defenses have been good." That's like a personal pride thing for him.
It's true. Yeah. With Rule, I think, I don't know, control freak, but I think there's an overall
What's wrong? What is wrong with you people? Oh my
a
gosh.
lot. We draw him in. I used to be one of them. I'm still one of them. I don't know if he's a control freak, but I think he has an overriding, just kind of a conservative nature sometimes that he wraps the coordinators in. And sometimes I think that hampers the ability to get things done. We could bring back Bob Diaco, like Jerry said, and other people were talking about the strain. So it could always be worse, you know, because God knows what he was doing. Bob Diaco would give you an offer you couldn't understand. Like yeah, that guy was rough. But I don't know about Phil Snow being the permanent answer. I think he's just going to get us through the bowl game
Yeah.
and maybe go back to being a Zoom coach, once a week. And you're right, Keen. I guess it is a definition of a control freak. I'm trying to be judicious here, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Diaco was for entertainment.
Yeah, I was thinking of just using my lavalier as a microphone and holding it up here like he used to do, but then people would make fun of me, and so we're not going to do that. But
Oh my gosh. All right.
right.
This is so bad. I don't know why I'm highlighting these comments. These are so bad.
You
You
know
guys
what
are
though, Roger? Frost did it too. He wore a sizes too small, or he had his wife, hit the arms of his shirts with an air dryer, so his arms looked like they were twice as big as what they were. But yeah,
he had them taken in. You guys are bad. Okay, well, hopefully we've exhausted that enough.
I think so. I'm exhausted.
You think? Okay. I hope so. I really hope so. Hopefully, please, dear God, don't let us ever have another season like this defensively.
Mm,
I think we ended up being like 100th total in defense.
yeah, it was pretty rough. I quit looking at numbers after a while because people kept throwing them at me, and it was just, you know, depressing. Manny wants to know if Donnie's next. Donnie Osmond,
Okay, I purposely am not talking about that.
Donnie Raiola.
Guys, if you haven't been paying attention, because I know it's been very distracting what's going on with everyone scoring all over us, but our offensive line has improved. You take the last quarter of the season, and boy, it's nothing like what it looked like before. So you can thank Donovan Raiola for that.
And Holgerson for running plays that didn't expose the tackles who were terrible.
Yes.
Um,
See, isn't
an
it nice?
interesting point going into next year for the offensive line. I know Minnie's getting tired of this, but we will lose the internal three guys we have, both guards in the center. So they were the best people we had. And then Pritchett kind of came on late, no pun intended. So it's like we lose that interior three guys. If we keep Donovan and the next three come in, will they be developed well enough? Because they probably didn't play other than a couple of the walkover games early. So it's like he seems to do well with the internal line, not the tackles. So just food for thought. Like if our interior line gets mauled next year, then we, have only one man to thank.
Okay, you're being gross right now, Fred. And right now, I don't even want to know you. Okay. How could you possibly start destroying our offensive line next season?
We gotta ask
We're
questions.
not
We gotta
even
get
done
ready.
completely.
We're losing 3 great players. If it just like anything else, last year we talked about
Just
if we lost Nash
we're
and
not losing Justin Evans.
yeah, they're all gone. They're all
Justin
seniors.
Evans is a junior.
You sure? I thought
Oh,
he was
I'm
a senior.
sure. No, I'm sure. I don't even
Okay.
think he's a junior. I think maybe he's a junior. He might be a sophomore.
Hmm.
Justin Evans, Gunnar Gatula, um, why is my
Gatula's
mind
not interior line, though. I'm talking, Latowski,
Henry
Jenkins, and
Lutovsky.
Rocco
Yeah, no,
are
you're
3.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, you caught me
Oh, he's
off.
a junior. Okay.
You caught me off guard for this. I will have to get back with you
Evans is a
with
junior. Okay.
some
So my
facts.
bad. If I was Evans, I would leave because I don't know. There's not much to play for here.
Well, they're getting paid now.
They are, but
Money.
you know, I always get paid. He could be somebody else's Rocco.
David Matney, just beautiful.
Doesn't
Just
even feel like a 30th
beautiful.
year, David Matney. I tell you what, it's flown by in a blink of an eye.
Yeah. Well, and we're all here for it, so isn't that
In all
interesting?
kinds of weather.
Boy, it's like we you know what? I feel like we all deserve medals. Like, who was
We
it?
do.
Henry Lutovsky said that um, Teddy Prohaska should get a Purple Heart for, football and his injuries, all the injuries he's had to sustain. I feel like Nebraska fans, if there was Purple Hearts for fandoms, we definitely would receive one.
They should have Dylan give them out, but then they'd get intercepted and probably run back for a touchdown. Is Rust a medal? Good one.
All right. I'm gonna call it. Thanks so much, Fred.
Definitely happy to be here. Happy to
Last
see you
time
in
you'll see
almost
me.
Iowa gear. That's good.
Yeah, last time you'll ever see me in yellow.
Hope so.
Okay.
Don't take silly bets, fans.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week. And we will be talking what bowl game we're going to. Yay!
I can hardly wait.
I know, me too. All right. Have a good week.
Bye, everybody.
Go Big Red.